Welcome back to my channel, y'all. It's your girl A. Lachey. If you are new here, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. There will be a lot more content coming soon. Working on it. So before we get into the video, do y'all notice anything different? Does anything look different? It's not me. I'm not different. So my friend got me a ring light, and I super appreciate him. Shout out to you, CJ, for doing that, because you didn't have to. But you know, you just got me a birthday gift on my birthday without a birthday party, but you got me a birthday gift and I really like it. Thank you. So yes, I'm currently using a ring light. I'm also using the back camera to my phone instead of the front camera because I was told that that has better quality videos and audio. So if you notice a difference, please comment down below if you see anything different, if it improved the quality, if it really didn't affect the quality. Obviously that's compounded in with the ring light because the lighting is also going to be different, but just any changes that you notice and whether you think they are good or bad, please comment down below for me. I would really appreciate that. So we're gonna get right into it. 25 things I learned by the time that I turned 25. So I'm filming this 10 days into being 25, so I am not true to this. I'm very much new to this, but these are some life lessons that some people don't learn until they're like in their 50s and 60s. So if I can put y'all up on game, I'm gonna do that. So if I'm looking down, I apologize. This is where my information is coming from because we love a planner. All right, so number one, live out of less than 100% of your means. To break this down in the simplest of terms, do not spend everything that you earn. Save something. Now, whether you're saving just to have savings, whether you're saving for a trip, whether you're saving for an investment, that's fine. But make sure that your outcome does not exceed your income. You always want to be able to set yourself up for something. And if you are on a limited budget, that's fine. You could ball on a budget. I'm not going to judge you. And for the people that are, they're not contributing to what you balling with. So like, don't worry about them. If all you're able to do is save $10 a month, do it. What do you have to lose? At the end of the year, that's $120 extra. Like, now imagine if you save more than that. Do what you can. Just try to live out of less than 100% of your means. Number two, life brings change. Embrace it. Literally from the time that we're born, we're always constantly developing and constantly undergoing change. Do not be the person who runs from change. Like me, I don't like change, but I've dealt with a lot of changes in my life and everything honestly has worked out for the better. If something was bad, I pretty much just endured it and tried to just, you know, strap myself in and go along for the ride. And honestly, if there was a bad patch, just know I elevated at some point later on. Like, it always gets better. I always say I was dealt shitty cards, but I'm gonna play the best hand that I can out of it. It is what it is. Embrace change. You don't have to run from it. Number three, not everyone has your intentions, and that is okay. Not everyone is going to be you. Not everyone is going to have your same thought process. Not everyone is going to have your same approach and feelings about things. That's perfectly fine. If we didn't, we would live in a Harrison Bergeron kind of world, and if you don't know what that is, look it up. It's a great short story. So for those of you that don't like to read, you can do it. You can get through it. Not everyone has your intentions, and that's okay. You just have to find people who have your best intentions at heart, or at least are like-minded people. That way you can elevate with them and they're not dragging you down. Even though someone might not be 100% like you, that's perfectly fine. They don't have to be. And you don't have to need them to be. Is this still, okay, I think I'm in the center. Pardon me as I readjust myself. I can't see myself with this rear view camera editing. So this is a lot. Also, this lamp got a little power to it. Your girl is hot. Oh, okay, I'm gonna need to speed it up. Number four, kind of piggybacks off of number three. It all works out in the end. Don't stress. My personal life motto that I coined, copyright that, is if it ain't life or death, don't stress. Honestly, like, if I'm not gonna die or suffer lifelong altering, you know, issues, don't stress, bro. Like, I promise you, everything works out. Everything happens for a reason, and you will not know that reason until you come up to it. Like, hindsight is 20/20, foresight is not. So everything works out for a reason. I can tell you. We're gonna hit some story times later down the line where I'm gonna show you things happen for a reason and everything worked out. Number 5, take time to learn you through all stages of your life. So when you hit that period in your life where you're like, self-care is the most important thing, don't ever think that that's going to stop. Don't ever think that that's going to just magically go away and it's not important anymore one day. Everyone hits their stage of learning about self-care at different points in life. Someone can be 6, someone can be 14, someone can be 32, someone can be 60. Like, it does not matter. Whenever you hit that stage, just understand that that is something that you are going to want to continue to do. Who you are at 24 and 25, for example, is not who you were at 16, and it's definitely not going to be who you are at 53. Like, continuously learn and grow with yourself. Whatever you expect out of others, do that same thing for yourself. Learn yourself at all the stages of your life, because at the end of the day, no matter how great your friends are, no matter how extended your family is, no matter what relationships you have with people, at the end of the day, you're always there for you. You are, no matter where you go, there you are. You are always going to be with yourself. Learn and grow with yourself. That way, at the end of the day, no matter what happens, no matter what you encounter in life, you can take care of you. Number 6. Hold on to your real friends. I'm not going to give you a definition of what a real friend is, but when you find someone who is not, it will be apparent. Controversially, when you find someone who is, it will be apparent. Most of them did not come from high school, and that was fine. I was prepared for that. I was like, high school, we all go our own ways. We're going to go to different colleges anyway, so I didn't even worry about these people. I was like, I'm going to make all my friends in college. Wrong. No, bro. But my real friends have been there with me through shit. Like, we have gone through stuff together. Your real friends are not the people who are just like, girl, let's get in, loser, we're going shopping, or let's just go hang out, or let's just, I don't know, do random shit. You will know who your real friends are. Keep them near and dear. Cherish them. Involve yourself with them. Hang out with them. Like, be a part of their life. Number 7 piggybacks on number 6. Learn the difference between your friends and acquaintances. If you don't know the difference, go consult Webster, or Oxford. Pick up a dictionary. Read the descriptions between the two and assess for yourself which one you think you have more of. Acquaintances are cool. They're fine and dandy. You can rely on them when you need a source for something, when you need a recommendation. You can go to them. Your friends are different. Your friends are different than your acquaintances. And when you find out what the difference is, you will understand that. Okay, y'all. Sorry for the interruption. Obviously, I'm in different clothes. My phone decided that it wasn't going to record anymore. And I could not my phone messed up. We're on camera now. If you notice any differences, if this is a better setup, drop it down below in the comments for me. Let me know all that information. Don't know if it caught number 8 or not, so I'm just going to go ahead and jump right into it. For number 8, charge it to the game. Some of the realest advice I've ever received. Basically, certain things in your life you're not going to be able to control, charge it to the game. Number 9, wanting something doesn't automatically mean that you're ready to receive it. So what that really means is that we might often pray for something, make space for it, create opportunities for it in our lives. But there's a big difference between desire and ownership, and that big difference is responsibility. So we want to make sure that when we are asking for something and we're dwelling on why we have yet to receive it, maybe we need to consider the possibility that we're not ready to receive it, whatever that thing may be. And that's just something to keep in mind throughout all stages of life, because throughout all stages of life, you're going to go through different things and want different things. Just keep in mind that delayed does not necessarily mean denied, and maybe you just don't have what you want because you're not ready to receive it yet. Number 10, bad times don't last forever. So we hear this all the time, tough times don't last, but tough people do. Basically, it's kind of like video games where you have levels to different things. So obviously when you're first starting off, you're not going to have the most intense steps in order to conquer. Even though you're going through smaller sequential steps that are constantly building up, when you get to that boss level, you know that you haven't achieved that before. You haven't been at that boss level before, but you know you've conquered everything that came before it. So tough times don't last, but every time that you go through a tough situation, it is there to help you build up that skill set, level up your EXP. That way the next time you get to a difficult situation, yes, you may not have been in that situation before, but you've been in this situation and that situation and that situation, and you've worked through it before and figured out how that works for you. So you have that experience to rely back on in order to now conquer this new thing, and then add that to your arsenal. So there is that. Number 11, do what you need to do for you. Other opinions normally will not matter, and I say normally, sometimes they will, but basically, at the end of the day, you are your star player. You are the person who's always going to be there for you. No matter where you go, there you are. So you need to make sure that you're in tune with yourself and you're doing things that you need to for yourself. Whether that's taking the next step into something, whether that's self-care, whether that's withdrawing yourself from a negative situation, you just need to do what is important for you. You have to be in tune with you. Number 12, explore different things. Try things out, do different things. You don't necessarily have to, while having a routine is important, you don't necessarily have to only adhere to that routine. You want to be able to step outside of your comfort zone. Your comfort zone is comfortable, but your comfort zone is not a place to facilitate growth. And in order to do that, you can experience growth by trying new things. You are then growing and gaining either a skill set or an opinion or knowledge regarding that new experience that you have tried. It can be going to a different theme park. It can be trying a ride that you're scared to try at a theme park. It could be trying a new recipe at one of your favorite restaurants. There's a lot of different things, but you want to try to allow for space of new things in your life. Don't just keep the same mundane, regular routine. It's not going to be beneficial in the long term, especially when you get to a point where you need to know how to do something different or possess a different skill set. Had you never tried anything new in your life, you're not going to get there. Number 14, find a way to travel. Whether you have friends who don't want to travel, whether your funds aren't exactly where you want them to be, that is fine. Groupon, Hopper, there are all kinds of different ways to make things happen. There are opportunities that arise for everybody. There are people who want to travel overseas and they know that that's what they want to do, so they take jobs that are based on the skill set that they already have. They are not having to go out and learn something new. They're not having to go out and pull different resources. And when you have those friends who are like, I don't want to go, or I don't trust this, or I don't want to, leave them. Leave them. That's fine. You will always have somebody who is down, whether you get a bunch of people that you're cool with and maybe they're not your best friends, maybe they're not your closest circle. Do it, bro. I promise you, it is an experience that you will cherish forever. You never want to get to the end of your life and say, what if? You want to be able to get to the end and be like, yo, I had fun. I did what I wanted to do. I had a great time. I experienced this place. Places are constantly changing, and what you experience at one time may not exist at another time. So take the opportunity to travel if the opportunity presents itself. If it does not present itself, create the opportunity. Number 15, don't pass judgment on others for what they have going on. A lot of things people experience are things that happen behind closed doors, and we don't necessarily know the entirety of the situation or how heavy that situation may be. Don't judge people just because they do things differently than you. Somebody might want to get to 10, and so the way that they get to 10 is 5 and 5. Somebody else might do 8 and 2. Someone else might do 9 and 1. Somebody else might do 6 and 4. Like, it doesn't matter. Everybody's getting to 10. That is the goal. It doesn't matter if you choose 5 and 5 and someone else does 6 and 4 and they're not the same thing. You just have to allow people their time to work in their own way. So just don't judge people. Don't be rude. It is free 99 to be a good person. Number 16, keep an open mind to things. Very important, kind of piggybacks on number 15. So like I said, people have different processes for things. Just because you have a certain skill set or a certain methodology to achieve something doesn't mean that people from other places are going to have that same background knowledge or that same skill set. And that's perfectly fine. People are allowed whatever process that they want in order to achieve whatever it is that they're trying to. Keep an open mind to things and understand that when you're doing so, you're allowing the possibility and the potential for new things to come your way. Maybe you get put up on a new tip, or maybe you get put up on a new way to do something, or maybe you get feedback that makes your process easier. If you keep a closed mind to all those things, you are cutting off all channels of receiving that information and then limiting yourself to only being able to operate with the knowledge that you have. And in the long run, when you come across new experiences, because you will, and new things will arise and present themselves, then what? You only have the devices that you allowed yourself to have in order to operate. So keep an open mind to things. Number 17 is that your perception is everything. And when I say everything, I mean it's everything. Your perception then determines your reality. Say, for example, you have a friend who wants to have you attend their wedding, and say they give you the notice in advance and life happens, whether you can't get transportation, whether you forgot and double booked yourself, whether you overslept because you didn't set an alarm, whatever it is. Say that there's something, that comes up that prevents you from being able to do this thing. And so your friend reaches out to you and they're like, hey, I really wanted you to be at my wedding. You didn't make it. It really meant a lot to me, blah, blah, blah. If my perception on that is that they're attacking me, I'm automatically going to go on the defensive. I'm automatically going to be like, well, this happened and I don't know why you're feeling this way and blah, blah, blah. Then that becomes my reality. My reality becomes they are attacking me. I need to defend myself. Controversially, if my perception is maybe this is a sincere friend and they really wanted me to be there and I folded, I didn't make it, but, I understand where they're coming from and I understand that they care about me, I have now presented the possibility to not burn a bridge. I can now still rely on that friend. I might have to make up to them, but basically, if I keep my perception open, I can then properly navigate through situations the way that I need to. I can navigate them with a level head rather than if I approach something with a negative mindset or a negative perception, then I have to work that much harder to overcompensate. So just keep in mind your perception is everything. Am I saying you have to go through every single situation in life hunky-dory and everything's okay and there's flames around you and everything's fine? Things are fine? I'm not saying you have to do that. I'm just saying keep your perception elevated and open. It's just beneficial for you. Number 18, surround yourself with positive people. This is so important. Obviously, if you guys have ever been around somebody who's negative and is just habitually negative or just constantly negative, you understand how draining of an energy that can be. You definitely want to surround yourself with positive people. If you have one person who drains your energy, imagine if that's your entire circle. That's not going to be something that's conducive to your environment. That's not going to be something that's conducive to your goals. It's just all around going to be negative if you are around negative people. Now, if you flip that and you have positive people, you are then going to have people that share that positive energy. You're bouncing off ideas off of each other. You're supporting each other's goals and dreams. You're just exchanging yourself and engulfing yourself in a positive environment. And so you kind of want to keep those people around, and obviously you can't have positive people around you forever, and you can't have positive people around you in every single aspect of your life. There are going to be negative people that arise, but you want to try to keep positive people around you as best as possible. 19 kind of piggybacks off of 18, but number 19, in difficult times, don't isolate. So first and foremost, we're all human. I work in mental health. I understand how difficult it can be to want to engage in positive things, especially when you're in a negative situation, if you're in a negative spot in your life. I understand what it's like to not have the motivation to want to engage in those things, to feel like you don't deserve it for whatever reason, to have disinterest in everything or specifically what it is that normally brings you joy. But when you think about it, when you're here and you're happy, and this is your baseline, and those things bring you joy, they elevate you. Now imagine if you're this much lower and you engage in those things, they are going to help you return to your baseline and then continue to elevate. And it can be really difficult to engage in things that are familiar to you when you don't want. But I'm telling you, rather than isolate from what it is that you like to engage in, run towards it. It is there for a reason. It has made you feel better and has worked for you in the past for a reason. Run towards those things. Do not isolate from them, even when it's difficult to do so. Number 20, listen to hear, not to respond. So when you listen to hear, you are taking in the information. You are absorbing it in the best ability that you can. You're taking it in, you're processing, you're letting it marinate, you're understanding, you're giving clear, level-headed feedback. Whereas when you listen to respond, you're listening to be able to get in your word edgewise. Whether it's, okay, I heard you, but yeah, I understood that viewpoint, but I just think that it'd be better if we... All that's not necessary all the time. Sometimes you need to be able to listen to let people vent, to give you a new perspective on things, to help you out with a dilemma that you may be having. Always listening just to give back your own feedback is not beneficial. It's not beneficial for the party who is giving you the information, and it's not beneficial for you as the receiving party, because when you're only trying to respond, you're blocking out essential information. You're stopping yourself from getting that information that you need in order to then continue to navigate that situation in the most efficient way possible. So don't do that. Number 21, chunk your goals. So when you chunk your goals, it's a method of goal attainment. It helps you break down your bigger goal into smaller goals that are more attainable. So say for instance, I don't know why I keep talking about weddings. I'm not getting married soon, y'all. I'm not married. I don't know. But say you're trying to clean your house before your in-laws come, and you know that you have a lot of house, you know it's a lot to clean. Rather than focusing on the entirety of the thing, chunking is focusing on small things at once. So in order to do this, let's say for today you clean your bedroom, then tomorrow you do all the bathrooms. Then you do the kitchen. Maybe those smaller blocks are still too large for you. So maybe when you're doing the kitchen, you're like, okay, let me load and unload the dishwasher. Then I'm going to take a 15-20 minute break. Then I'm going to go back and wipe down all the counters. I'm going to go ahead and take another 15-20 minute break. Then I'm going to clean out the fridge. And we know cleaning out the fridge is a long task. Maybe you give yourself an hour. And then you go back, sweep, dust, mop, whatever it is that you need to do. And you break down these smaller goals as needed until they're in chunks and sections that you can manage. Chunking is just a way to break down your bigger goals into smaller goals that are more manageable. Chunk your goals. And this can be applied to more things than just cleaning. Basically, anything that is a goal of yours, you can apply the chunking method to it. And if you have questions on the chunking method or how you could use it in a particular situation, go ahead and drop that down below. I will get back to you with that information. So 22. I'm not sure exactly what I meant when I wrote this down, but I put talk to your friends. The route that I'm going to take with this is that with your friends, you should have an open line of communication. You should be able to talk to them when you need to. You should be able to have a foundation of trust, foundation of honesty. You basically want to be able to create that safe space with your friends. And also, too often, we have times where we don't reach out to our friends just because we're like, oh, they're our friends, we don't need to. They know that we love them. They know that we care about them. They know that we're thinking about them. Sometimes those little simplistic messages of just, hey, thought about you today. Hey, I saw this in the store and it reminded me of you. Hey, just checking on you, letting you know I love you, just making sure everything's okay. Sometimes those little messages go a long way, especially when they hit in unexpected times. Like you might be like, bro, I wasn't expecting this today, or I really needed that. Talking to your friends and just keeping that good, genuine, positive energy flowing, thrust that upon your friends. Like that is something that you want to do. So talk to your friends, reach out. You never know what someone might be going through. You never know when someone's time might be up. You never know when someone might be needing that message. It's just taking that time out to reach out can go a long way. 23 is real, y'all. Number 23 is that you do not need to have it all figured out at this point, and if you don't, that's okay. Let me say it again. You don't have to have it all figured out. Your 20s are a weird period of time in your life. Your 20s are a period of time where everybody is on a different playing field and everybody's accomplishing different things. Some of us are entering the job force. Some of us are graduating. Some of us are just enrolling. Some of us are getting married. Some of us are having babies. Some of us are moving. There are so many different life events happening within your 20s that you might be sitting here feeling super small, like, where do I fit into this? And that is fine. That is fine. That is okay. Everyone progresses on their own timeline, and you do not need to compare your bloopers to someone else's highlight reel. If you don't have it all together, that's perfectly fine. Chances are the friend who's just got married and just had a baby and is moving, they probably don't have every single thing together either, and that's okay. That is part of the learning process. So every day that you wake up and you make progress towards whatever your goal is, you're doing great. Everyone moves at their own pace. Keep that in mind. So number 24, everyone moves on their own timeline. I pretty much covered that. There is no set scale of you need to be here, here, and here at different stages in your life. The 20s is such a weird time as is. Let's not add on to it by putting on societal and cultural pressures of, oh, you need to have this done and you need to have that done. How about I wake up and I be great every day? Is that okay? Because I'm cool with that. And then lastly, number 25, if it's not life or death, don't stress. There are certain situations in life that are going to arise that are out of our control. Obviously, I understand that there are things that can be stress-inducing, things that pop up, but personally, if I'm not about to die, I'm not stressing off of it. I'm really not. Things are going to happen regardless. Things will be what they are. What may come is going to come. If it's not life or death, don't stress. That's what I've got for you. And so if you've made it this far, thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. That is my 25 things that I learned by the time I'm 25. If you like the content of this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you know somebody who needs this information or somebody who could use these words, go ahead and share that with them. And then drop down below in the comments, like I said, if you notice any differences in quality. And guys, I will see you in my next video.